If you want to stay up to date with all current hip hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to become part of this community. So I already made a video about Polo G's announcement for his new album Hall of Fame, which is set to drop next week on June 11th, and today he also gave us the official track list for this thing, which a lot of people, they were excited to see this because we already had speculations about what songs were going to be on the album, what we're going to get from it, and to actually have the track list in front of us, I think is pretty cool. And I wanted to kind of go over it, give my thoughts on different titles, on features, because there's actually quite a bunch of features. He just did like an extra graphic for like the Hall of Fame collabs, and they're all like in golden frames, all the features, which I thought looked really cool. So he definitely places a lot of importance on the features on here. So let's get straight into it. So as we can see, he's recreating the, iconic Michael Jordan pose in like the cover for it. But we have 20 tracks on here. 20 tracks is quite a lot. I already said that the Voice of the Hero was, 18 tracks, which is already a lot, and I thought that was maybe a bit too long. But to actually see 20 tracks on here, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this. Of course, I'm happy to hear a lot of new songs from him, but I just hope it's not like a flooding the market thing, because 20 tracks is a bunch. Anyway, let's hop into it. The first track is called Painting Pictures. We haven't heard that yet. The second one is his first #1 song, Rap Star, which I think we're all familiar with. I expressed kind of like, my feelings about this thing going #1 because it's not a bad track. I'm still listening to it, but I just don't understand because it's just such a generic Polo G song. Anyway, track 3 is No Return featuring The Kid Laroi and Lil Durk. Then we have Toxic, then Epidemic, which we already got, I think, spring, summer 2020. Then we have Gang Gang featuring Lil Wayne, the latest single from the thing, which I actually like quite a lot. Then we have Boom, Black Hearted, Broken Guitars featuring Scory, then that GNF single that dropped, I think, in the fall of last year, which I wasn't too much of a fan of. I don't like when Polo does drill as much as his other style. Anyway, then we have Go Part 1 with G Herbo. Then we have Heart of a Giant featuring Rod Wave. Rod Wave is getting featured on a lot of stuff lately, so yeah. Track 13 is Zoo to Free Yourself, and Party Life with DaBaby, Losses with Young Thug, So Real, Fame and Riches with Roddy Ricch, For the Love of New York with Nicki Minaj, Clueless with Pop Smoke and Fabio Foreign, and Bloody Canvas. Now, as you can see, that's a lot of features, and people have a lot of stuff to say about this. Just when you go on Twitter on the post of that, the track list, then people are kind of worked up about this because they were expecting a Juice feature, and they're kind of mad that Thugger or DaBaby got a pick on here because that just seems like such an obvious choice because they get on everything nowadays. But now let me give my thoughts on this. I'm not too much of a fan when artists just flood their tracks on an album with features, especially when you can see that it's a album with 20 tracks, so it's already a lot. It's already just trying to flood everything out there, which makes it from that point less personal because every song or each song has less importance. And then if you just flood it with features, then it just makes it even less personal and less authentic to the artist himself. So I'm already not a fan of that. But some of these features on here are just really weird. Like, why would Polo pick the Kid Laroi? I've seen someone in the comments already say because Polo said a couple of days ago, I really got an all-star team on this album, and then it's like a picture of Kid Laroi. Now, I don't hate Kid Laroi that much. It's like an inside joke already in the Discord and on stream, which, by the way, Sunday, 2 p.m. EST, as always. But it's just not someone who I'm looking forward to hearing. Also, to have Lil Roy and Durkio on the same track, it's really weird. That's going to be like I'm going to be interested in how that sounds. Lil Wayne is a good feature. Scory is a good feature. G Herbo is, of course, that's like that Chicago influence, so I'm not too mad about that. Rod Wave, as I said, I think is a great feature on any track. Then DaBaby and Young Thug, just kind of predictable. I love that Roddy has a place on here. I think he's going to really do his thing. He just dropped Late at Night today, which was amazing. I mean, have you seen the video for it? Damn. And then Nicki Minaj, of course I'm excited to hear something new from her. I'm still listening to Seeing Green. I think she kind of had like a cultural comeback with that reissuing of Scotty Beam Me Up. or Beam Me Up Scotty. But for Polo G to have a song called For the Love of New York is kind of weird, first of all, because, I mean, the man is from Chicago, so why would he have a song called For the Love of New York? Of course, Nicki is from, or at least grew up in New York, but I don't see the connection to Polo at all. That's going to be interesting to see what that is about. And then that Pop Smoke and Favi feature is also a very kind of Brooklyn sound. So I don't know how he's like in love with New York now. This is something maybe TJ would have done or another drill artist. But to see that from Polo was weird. Of course, that Chicago drill sound can mix pretty well with that Brooklyn drill sound. And I think that, for example, the Clueless track will be a drill song, of course. Otherwise, you wouldn't have Pop and Favi on there. But yeah, so it's kind of, it's a lot, and it's kind of weird. It just seems in a lot of ways arbitrary, and I can probably already predict the tracks Party Life and Losses with DaBaby and Young Thug, just because they'll be generic, DaBaby and Young Thug songs. So I don't know how to feel about this. 20 songs is a lot, it's kind of overloaded. He says that this is like, his best album, the Hall of Fame, but it just seems like another generic kind of melodic hip-hop album. I don't know. This kind of has me feeling weird about where this album is gonna be headed, but of course I'm still excited. I think the tracks we've heard so far, Rap Star, Epidemic, Gang Gang, GNF, they're not bad. I like them, but Polo says that he's trying to do something, and he's gonna do something that people have never heard before, but from those tracks, that's really not the case. It's just basic Polo G songs, which is not bad, of course, but it's just nothing that the world really, hasn't heard before or is in dire need for. But for his fans, that's cool. But I really don't think that he'll be pushing his boundaries with this one again. But as I said, it's just an evolution, especially with him coming from, the last two records. I don't think this will be too bad. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on this. The track list is pretty long, a lot of features. That's the reason that it has me kind of worried. But I'm still looking forward to it. Polo has, been really solid and consistent in dropping, quality music. So I think this will be very listenable. It won't be bad, but my prediction is just that it won't be anything like, crazy or boundary pushing either. Just kind of a, I don't want to say mediocre, but kind of like an average Polo album. That's kind of my thoughts on this. So yeah, that's what I think about this. Now I want to know what you think about this. Do you like this track list? What track are you looking forward to the most? What features do you think are good? What features do you think are weird? And how would you just kind of, have expectations for this? Definitely let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media and blog down in the description. It really helps me out. Until the next one, y'all have an incredible day, and y'all take care.